Hey, it's Similolu here, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to survive a pandemic. How to survive a pandemic. Now, for those of you who already subscribe to my channel, you know what my whole line is about. It's about different ways to make money. But, you know, think about it. If there's no life, then my video is not going to serve you. So we want to stay alive. We want to be able to be alive so we can continue to live. We can continue to make money. There is a pandemic out there, and this video is about how we can survive this pandemic so we can continue to do what we're designed to do. We were put in this on this earth for a purpose. Everybody was put on this earth for a purpose. God designed it so that when I look at you, where you look at me, hopefully I can see Christ in you, you can see Christ in me. And this is how God gets glory. He gets glory in live bodies. So, how to survive a pandemic. I have a definition of a pandemic here, and it says it's an outbreak of a disease that occurs over a wide geographic area and affects an exceptionally high proportion of the population. So, it's around the world. And we don't want to be a statistic of this pandemic. And so I've dedicated this video just to the pandemic. So we have to relearn different ways of doing things. So first thing we have to relearn is the social distancing. So I live in the United States. I live in New Jersey, in the United States. And, you know, my state has been in a state of lockdown. So schools are locked down, are closed, churches, rec centers, shopping malls, anywhere where there's a greater chance for the disease to be passed from one person to another. So this always happens in crowded areas and the like. So there has just been a shutdown. But we're hoping it's not too little, too late. So how can we ensure that you are not a statistic and I am not a statistic? So we have to practice these new habits, really. Social distancing, that's number one. You don't stay in close proximity to another person. So if they sneeze or cough or whatever it is that's hanging in the air around them, you don't have to breathe it in because you're, you know, at least that's 6 feet away. I think that's like a meter or so away from the next person. You don't high five, we don't shake hands, and we're not hugging anymore. So we're going to be texting, we're going to be saying hi from afar, we're going to be on the phone, we're going to be video conferencing. Now, video conferencing, that's something I do in my line of work. I am I'm a teacher, but I don't teach in public schools. I teach privately, and I homeschool quite a few students. So that is what I do. But now all my students, I am teaching online via video conferencing. So these are new habits that we have to learn, and because they're habits, sometimes we get forgetful because it's a habit. You know, you got something goes in your eye and the first thing is to want to rub it. No, we don't do that anymore. So to be able to ensure that when we do, you know, kind of succumb to the habits, at least your hands need to be washed. So that's the next thing. Washed properly. No point sticking your hands under water and washing your hands with soap if the job is not done. 20 seconds is what they're recommending. 20 seconds to ensure that if there's any virus on your hands, that it actually gets truly washed off and broken down so that it's not effective. So 20 seconds. Now I'm going to show you what 20 seconds feels like. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It felt like a lifetime, but that's what we have to do to stay alive and to survive this pandemic. Now, you're not a medical professional. I don't know if you are. I'm not a medical professional. I'll speak for myself. But medical people have to learn, especially doctors who are scrubbing in to perform operations on people. They have to wash their hands for, I've been told, 3 minutes minimum. Now, we don't have to do that, but 20 seconds, that's what you have to, that may be all you need to do to stay alive, to survive this pandemic. So that's the second thing. So it's social distancing. It's washing your hands properly. They say any job worth doing, you might as well do it well. So what's the other thing? Yes, coughing into your elbow like that, sneezing, achoo, with the mouth covered, the mouth part in the elbow, very important. All these things have you kind of have to relearn how to do them. And I think what's really most important is just keeping away. Just keep away. Everything is most important, but keep away from people as much as you can. Keep away from crowded places, anywhere where there's going to be people around you. I mean, if you can avoid going to the airport, the bus station, the train station. I mean, I won't say the whole of the United States is in lockdown mode, but you know, there's just a lot of services that are not operational anymore, just to ensure people can stay in their homes. And so that's the message I have for you today. God gets glorified in this body, but God gets glorified in this body whilst it's alive. So what we have to do is to keep it alive. And to keep it alive, you've got to survive this pandemic. So you're going to have to change your habits. And that's the message I have for you. I'll go back to showing videos on various ways of making money online. I'm big on that. But I need you to be alive, and I need to stay alive. So keep up these good habits. They're habits even to keep, even after this pandemic dies down. For instance, after you've washed your hands and you've learned how to wash your hands for the proper amount of time, you know, don't open the door or any door with your hands. You're going to have to practice how to use your sleeve. I taught all my kids. My oldest child is 30. And this is how I taught them how to open doors. Either use your elbow or use your hand, you know, your sleeve like that. If you're wearing a coat, even better still, then you're going to hold the coat like this. I'm going to try and demonstrate that there. Like that. Put your hand behind it to open the door, because you just washed your hands. And when you get out of the bathroom, you're probably somebody's going to offer you something. You're going to take some gum out of your bag, you know, put it into your mouth, and on and on. So this is a wake-up call for us all. For as long as you're living on planet Earth, it's important that you learn these new habits. Important that you survive this pandemic. And after we have survived the pandemic, we can continue to glorify God in this body. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then make sure you do so. Hit the bell as well, because with that bell, you get notifications as soon as I get a video out. Like this video, comment below. I'll try my best to get back to you. And I really want to say, stay safe, stay alive, and glorify God in this body that you have. I'll meet you on the next video.